Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We're going to be doing a Zerg vs. Terran today. We're going to be following Jaedong once again, but he's only half the story of this game. This is the real reason I wanted to cast this one. Down here in the bottom right is ForGG. ForGG is incredibly active right now. He has well over 1,000 ladder games on his main account. He's training pretty hard. Someone actually asked me very recently whether I thought with ForGG being this active, he could maybe make it into the next SSL season. My gut kind of tells me no. I'm not a huge fan of the way that he plays, but he is a big-time grinder. This guy is an ex-MSL champion. This guy was a great StarCraft 2 player. And he's had some good moments in StarCraft 1 as well, even in the recent times. Like, he's done reasonably well. Like, he's been in tournaments. I remember him being in KSL. I think he was in ASL. The thing is, the fact that I can't clearly remember exactly what he was in, I feel like I remember like 2 of his games from KSL that were really epic, like against Mini, if I'm remembering correctly. But the fact that I can't fully remember kind of shows that he's as far as the Terran players go, he is a little bit forgettable right now. I wish no ill will towards towards ForGG. So we're gonna look at his game here, and maybe you know, if I see some more interesting players that he's against, we'll take a look at some of those as well, because I would like to see what type of shape he's in, because I like to know that before SSL comes up. Is like, okay, well, are you in the type of shape that can actually make it in? Are you someone I should be really paying attention to during the qualifiers and have on the radar? So I don't know. We'll see. This is a good start, because Jaedong is one of the stronger Zergs overall in the world, but I think everyone would agree by far his weakest matchup would be Zerg versus Terran. This is where Jaedong is running into the most trouble by miles. He has a hard time. Like, I feel like every time he takes a third base, it gets busted. But that's not something you necessarily have to worry about from ForGG. ForGG is an extremely technical player. In fact, if you recall, when ForGG won his MSL, if I'm remembering this correctly, he beat Jaedong, who was his teammate, in the finals, and it was with mostly very technical builds. ForGG is not known for like just going, for instance, SK Terran, great science vessel control, get a couple drops off while macroing and getting 4 bases. That's not his style. His style is like weird stuff. Like, oh, I have 1 Wraith and that goes into a dropship, or, I have a Vulture opener into, I mean, you fill in the blank. He's a very, very technical player. So yeah, we'll see what this build is. This was a 12-12, by the way. So that's like a very late barracks. He's kind of optimized himself completely to get this factory out very well. And you can see it's like a really late SCV scout coming out. So for instance, if there had been like a very quick Zergling rush, he might have just died to that. But that's going to be exceedingly rare at very high levels on turn rate 24. The Marine, basically, the laggier you get, the better melee units become. So, like, Terran becomes almost invincible against things like Zergling rushes and Zealot rushes on turn rate 24. And I got to tell you, I definitely felt that when I was in Korea recently for a week playing. It was like, damn, man, you can't even touch my Marines. But, yeah. He's gone very quickly for the factory. He, in fact, went add-on off of 1 Marine, and he's going speed. Cool. Okay. Now, there's a Sunken already on the way, so that's good, but you can run past a Sunken. Like, Jaedong may end up putting a hatchery here. If you put a hatchery here, you're not really afraid of vultures anymore. Oh, a starport. So it might turn into a vulture drop. What's coming to mind right now is the build that Noel used, aka he used the ID Wico in SSL because he doesn't understand that branding is important if you want to be a professional gamer. But there was this very cool build where it was like a vulture drop as the mutas were flying across the map. It was a very well timed out play. I've only seen it, I think, 3 times. I believe I have a couple casts of it on this channel, and then one from the SSL season. But yeah, it's actually a very interesting build. I don't know if that's exactly what he's going to go for or not, because he is getting like, well, you go for a Valkyrie with it as well, and you can make some Goliaths. There's his eBay. Up come... Okay, so look. Up come the Vultures, but this is very well defended. Look, he's going to make a full wall. So he's got the double Evo. Second Sunken coming up. The second Sunken's actually important. There are all-ins where you can break one Sunken. There's like a Vulture SCV pull that can do that, but I don't think you'd have enough here to ever do that. Anyways, he does run by and get a couple drones. Stops a little bit of mining here as well. So this is a little bit annoying, but mutas are going to come out and clear this, so it's not really the end of the world. And it is going to be a Valkyrie. So this is not that same build that I was talking about. That was a very interesting one. Yeah, so what's he end up with? 3 drone kills? A good amount of lost mining time, but like 3 drone kills, and, you know, he forced another Sunken, which is kind of nice. So that was not a total loss. That was not a total loss. Okay, Goliath's being made, Valkyrie's being made. Notice no Goliath range. I don't think he'll get it. I think that this is just supplementary, and I think he's going to go into bio, but I'm not 100% on that. Okay, so the couple of mutas fly in. Wait. Oh, no, those were the Valkyrie shots that were blue. Okay, anyways, another Valkyrie coming out, and we're going to have to see immediately. Like, he's going to add either an academy or another factory. Second gas. You know what? It might be mech then. It might be mech. Valkyrie Goliath is not a common combination to see. Normally, it's because it's a build like this, and you just need stuff to help against the mutas. Dude, he's getting a science facility? And he starts +1 attack, so it is going to be bio. Wow. Okay, this is really a weird build. So the Valk's going to push that back pretty quickly. So basically what's happening, this is... Let me talk about the problem with this and why I was saying I think we'll see an academy or a factory next, and then he made the gas, which made me call factory. But now we see +1, which is obviously he's going bio. The problem here is that he is so late with getting production going. Like, the second... Like, I get it to get into the science vessels. Like, I understand he wants this gas to get into science vessels, but he's going to have no map presence for a huge period of time. Generally, by the time you get a second Valkyrie made, you can gain map control for a bit as Terran. And notice he throws one muta in. He sees, okay, you're making a couple barracks. He is getting Zergling speed and carapace. That's like perfect ideas. And does he have a Hydralisk den? He does not. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Hive gets started. I guess he could go just into ultras from here. Is he going to start melee? I think that's what the plan is going to be. This is a very strange game, but ForGG forces games to look really strange because his style is so weird. But anyways, the move out is going to be so late here. Adding a couple more barracks. Look at how few units he has. If you think about old 1-1-1 builds, which this is a variant of a 1-1-1, you want to be pushing by 9 minutes. And we're hitting 9 minutes here, and he just doesn't really have what he needs for a push. Well, that was a pretty good snipe. I don't know. I guess we'll see when he moves out. Like, it's up to him. But you definitely need stim minimum, and you want to get your range started. He's going 2 tanks, so he's going to need siege mode. He does have melee on the way, so this is going to turn into crazy Zerg, which actually can be very good. One of the older builds against 1-1-1, you get actually a Hydralisk den while doing something very similar to this, and you just use Mass Hatchery Ling Hydra Muta to kind of break the first army, because the first army is very small. So he is moving out 9:30. I guess it's not as bad as I was saying. And it is kind of a... This is such a teched out army. This is kind of a good army in some ways. Yeah. Yeah. It's a very weird play, but actually it looks like it has some real potential here. Like, look, he's got 48 workers as well. Really not that bad. Huh. Okay. Have to reconsider. Look at that. Just wipes everything. And the thing is, again, this army isn't that big. That's why some of those Ling Hydra comps were pretty useful. But if he could slow this down and get to the Ultras, that can be really, really good. I don't think he can, though. He's running up. Now, this is to snipe the science vessels. That's why he's doing this. It totally... Okay, ForGG wins. There is no way in hell Jaedong can hold this. Now... Like, everything has gone kind of counter to how I said it would this game. But I do have to say, I don't think that this was strategically the right thing for Jaedong to do. Like, I really like the fast carapace. But again, I do think if he had gone, like, just a more unit-centric approach, then I think it would have been a much better spot for him. But now ForGG is just going to march in and kill. This was an interesting build. We are going to have to take a look at more ForGG games, I think. Really interesting build. Yeah, see, the Ultras are just... They're a little bit too late. Whereas, I think if he had swarmed out of all 4 hatches, like just Hydraling, I feel like, yeah, this would have... There would have been a lot more battling going on. Rather than ForGG just has a very efficient engage and wins. Well, he is going to save the hatchery, technically, but there's 18 drones, so he's just going to GG. Okay. That was unexpected. That was unexpected. Huh. Okay, so change of plans for the next couple days. I think we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive on ForGG and see... Because the thing is, games like this aren't very replicable. That's part of the problem with playing such a technical game. Because no one, like... No, how do I put this? I don't want to exaggerate it, but it's like, when you play like this, you have like 1,000 times more experience in the position than your opponent. It's not as strong an opponent, but it's like if you follow chess at all and you see like sometimes the players will try to get each other out of the opening like preparation as quickly as possible, and you can do moves that aren't as strong to get people out of their opening prep so they don't have it memorized and they have to just play off basics. That's kind of what ForGG does with a lot of his games. Where he's like, you haven't seen this one, LOL. And he's seen it a lot. And it's like, there are holes in it, which is why it's not standard. But can your opponent react to and deal with those holes? And you might even have ideas on how to deal with the way they are more likely to deal with those holes. So, anyways, a fascinating game. A fascinating game. I love casting something and getting everything wrong and be like, why was that? What's going on here? Okay, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. GG. We'll see you next time.